Good morning, everybody. So today we have a webinar number 7, and Branko Deljanin will tell us more about his identification and certification in his lab. I will be moderator, and I hope that I will replace Branko well. So let's start. Few words about myself. Already I told you that everything started about the diamond in Mumbai Opera House, Surat, of course, middle of the 90s. Then we used to travel all around the world. Here are some pictures from the Sri Lanka, Branko and me. Here is also a picture when we used to work at the time at TGL, when we announced it is the first time that someone announced that a synthetic diamond, it was in 2006, that synthetic diamonds it mixed with the natural diamonds in jewelry. After that, I dedicate all my time, interest to HPHT technology, treatments, and a few years ago, there we started to make a movie with Jason Cohn. He was a guest in the last webinar, and this movie will come to cinema very soon, I hope. And here are a few pictures. Branko and me traveling around, presenting our work, research, and okay. Then we came to our book. We are happy and proud of what we did. And first of all, I want to say thank you to Shirley Mitchell from England, our colleague, for this great idea how to present the book for the holiday. And after that, of course, I have to say about the co-authors, people they gave very, very good articles. Boris Figelsson, Sherry Woodring, Malek Hirani, and Frank Ripka. Antoine Metlins, Richard Drucker, Stuart Robinson, Alberto Scarani did the reviews for our book. And of course, for a long period of time, our friends and colleagues, Nilesh Shet, Tom Chatham, were supported us. Also Godwin and Mumtaz Gonzalez did great design and editing for this book. Of course, our friend from Belgrade, Nesha, is helping us promoting book and take care about all this stuff, Our gold sponsor is NCJV from Australia. Good morning, good evening, Kim. Silver sponsor is NG&J, our friend Gail. Hello, Gail. And here are also some websites how you can, where you can find and buy the book. Content. It is about lab-grown diamond. This is from this book you will get the basic to advanced knowledge about laboratory-grown diamonds. Book consists from our first, actually second edition from 2007, and the newest from 2020, and easy to read. And I hope that everybody will enjoy reading our book. Our first, we did, this is the 7th webinar that we have today. The first one was Malek Hirani. He's an expert for CVD growth. And if you would like to see him again, you see here is YouTube. He is on YouTube. All webinars except one are on YouTube. So first one is a Malek. And the second one, of course, the legend, Tom Chatham, is talking about his work and during all this time with synthetic diamonds. Again, you can see him on the YouTube. First time we presented memorial diamonds, and Frank Ripka gave us a really good speech, and it was a enjoy to listen him. He is not on the web, but he will be our guest in webinar, I don't know, 8 or 1, but on January 8th. And then here is a really some special guest, Boris Figelson. He's research scientist at the USC Naval Research Laboratory, and one of the most important people, researchers and inventors in HPHT technology. Sherry Woodring, our colleague and old friends for almost 20 years, gave us really beautiful pictures and presentation, and just update, upgrading, appraising, and in her GK lab. The last webinar I did, I used to talk about one identification or screening method. This is cross-polarized filters, and also about the patent, what I did in order to just make simply identification of laboratory-grown diamonds. And right now we have a Branko. I'm sure that you know all about him. You know, he's for so long period of time exposed in gemology, and it is I think almost 25 years since then, since he came to New York to study in GIA, and right now is yeah, we did together again something, and we hope that people would like it, you know. And right now, Branko, please, can you?
Yeah, Dusan, thank you for introduction. I will be host now for next maybe half an hour, and we decided to make this in 2 parts to make it more interesting, more interactive. So you're welcome to ask questions from now on the bottom of the Q&A to me, Dusan, of course. We are both authors, and I will be happy to share my first presentation. Part 1. I want to welcome everybody. We have a lot of followers on the YouTube channels. We appreciate that. Also, a lot of people who are coming to our workshops around the world, and a lot of people who are reading this book. Distributing now around 850 copies in 21 countries. So we're very proud of that. Dusan is showing his New York, a little bit in a shade, where Dusan is a very good researcher, but modest to show his face. But anyway, I'm here. So it's about fluorescence and certification of laboratory-grown diamonds. Not possible to cover everything in the book because it's quite big, 188 pages, but I'll try to give you some glimpse into what we did and what I'm doing here in Canadian Gemological Laboratory. 11 years. We do a lot of certification of diamonds, and you can imagine a lot of Canadian diamonds, other gemstones as well, a lot of research. And this is on the right, just example. This is not happening last year or 2 a lot. This is 4 carat laboratory grown diamonds, came for identification, and because we also do appraising, I have another person, Angelina, she will help me with appraising. And it's happening now regularly, lab grown diamonds, and you will see the more examples later. So it's more challenging in the rings, of course. And Branko Gems is my new venture that I'm doing more education, more research with Elena on rough diamonds and other topics. And with George Spirimilus from Greece, very happy to do Mediterranean Gem and Jewelry Conference. And Dusan was one of the speakers 2016 in Spain. And we have also some Spanish friends tonight listening to us. So I'm very happy that book reached the Spain, reached the many countries. And we do a lot of promotions and books, instruments on the Branko Gems website. So what I will do, I will do approximately 25 minutes, I promise not more, on background of diamond types. This is something we put in the book as a first background. We didn't change background at all because we couldn't invent something better. And we are then going into standard instruments for screening, and I will touch on fluorescence and talk about what we do in the laboratory, not only me, other labs with the visible photoluminescence, fluorescence, and other infrared spectroscopy. I'll show you a few certs, what I'm doing here, summarize, and then you're welcome to ask questions. And in the second part, it will be more about the instruments. I cannot cover everything. I'll cover maybe 3 or 4 instruments that I'm using here in the laboratory regularly. So, diamond types. It's covered in the previous webinars, but I always like to remind on this slide from our booklet that diamonds do contain nitrogen, type 1A, and this is mostly natural diamonds. Like I say, 98% of them are type 1A. They could be also type 1B natural, quite rare. We can say maybe 1% or less. On the contrary, lab-grown diamonds are almost all of them type 2A, could be also 1B, single nitrogen. They're relatively young diamonds grown in a few days. And there could be a blue type 2B, synthetic, naturally very, very rare, 0.1%, but they could be grown in a laboratory with addition of boron. This is something to remember, and many instruments on the market are based on this separation of these. Are they type 1, or they're referring to type 2, mostly type 2, but also there's also one special type, we call it 1AB, that also is transparent to UV light. This is something to remember when you're using instruments. There's always limitations of each instrument. And here is a table that we explain more in the book, but I'll just highlight few things in bold. You can see here, difference between natural, HPHT grown, and CVD grown. The main differences, of course, but what we are highlighting today is fluorescence. Not all diamonds fluoresce. Maybe 30% of them fluoresce, but when they fluoresce, most of them, or 90-95, are blue. Could be other colors. And fluorescence, if it's there, it's long UV is at least 1 degree, sometimes 2 degrees stronger. It's a little bit different or opposite in HPHT grown diamond. When they fluoresce, and many do, short UV is 1-2 degrees stronger, and they also phosphoresce, especially, let's say, those that contain more boron, they fluoresce more. And the colorless or blue diamonds could fluoresce and contain boron. CVD grown is a bit more challenging. Why? Because they could fluoresce, and I can show you some pictures. And the first picture that I show you on the first slide was from CVD grown diamonds from Greece, that they fluoresce 1 degree stronger. But what I see lately, and we are both aware of this, that some CVD diamonds do not fluoresce, or could be very similar, even equal fluorescence or short UV, long UV. Let's be careful not to use this only one test when you're checking lab-grown diamonds. That's why at the end, in the laboratory, we do look for impurities. So in natural diamonds, nitrogen is very common as a pairs, type 1, and HPHT grown is a single nitrogen, or could be also type 2, and other impurities. And in CVD, we have a hydrogen and silicon as a major impurities. We're looking at all these defects with advanced instruments. Of course, we can look at inclusions and other things if they are present. Sherry wouldn't talk about this. Sometimes they're just clean. And this is when we started Dushan in 2001 in New York to work on this and certify first actually lab-grown diamonds. They're all yellows or this kind of red or pink or blue. They're easy to detect. They're SA2, I1, I2. They're magnetic. What happened in the last 10 years, maybe even 5, in our previous edition, 2007, we had first colorless diamonds. We even didn't have CVD. That's 13 years ago. And now we have CVD all over, and they're now growing up to 10 carats, colorless. They can do now HPHT grown diamond. I've seen at Hong Kong show yellows, 20 carats, yellows, HPHT grown. So now it's really becoming very common to see 2-3 carat diamonds, 4 carat on the market or in the laboratory. So this we have to screen them, and melee is a problem, of course. You will see later some pictures, and jewelry. Still challenges, it takes longer time. So fluorescence. When you mention fluorescence, people think about UV fluorescence. We call it also luminescence, and really also could be called photoluminescence. Why? Because luminescence is a phenomenon that when diamonds are releasing some light when exposed, photon, when exposed to, in this case, UV light. In case of long UV light, it's 365 and could be, of course, non, faint, medium, strong, very strong. And good point to mention that even if diamond says non, it's non under regular UV light that we're using in gemology, but almost every diamond, if you know this, with a stronger laser, has some fluorescence. That's why some instruments, especially 405 laser, is used to detect this small amount of fluorescence, to detect defects, and we use this for separation. So, as I mentioned, most diamonds fluoresce stronger under short UV synthetic, but it requires some practice, it requires some techniques. So when I see some bracelet like this, that there's a non-weak, medium, or strong fluorescence, it's a good indication that diamonds are natural, but I'll always have to check short UV to compare with the long UV and then go into my further test and check these non or those that fluoresce a little bit stronger under short UV to make sure they are natural or they're synthetic. It's a second step after that. That's why it comes to this chart that was 2 years ago presented at the GS Symposium, and you can have it with the pictures if you just leave your email on the website. So what we'll do as a classic gemologist, we will of course first use a loupe or microscope to look at the inclusions, and if the metallic is great, but very often they're clean. If you see some amorphous carbon, CVD, great, but very often they're clean. So fluorescence is very important. If long UV is stronger, of course we'll double check with birefringence. Dusan was talking about this last webinar, cross-polarized filters to make sure they're natural. If short UV is stronger and they phosphoresce, they're most probably HPHT grown. We'll double check it. No cross-polarized filters under microscope or under you can even use a loupe and cross-polarized filters if diamond is big. And become complicated when it's non-fluorescence and when this pattern that we call tatami natural diamonds resemble a pattern in a CVD diamonds. Could be, especially when CVD diamonds are treated HPHT enhanced, this pattern could look very similar. I think Dusan puts very nice pictures in the book on cross-polarized filters. As you can see, these differences when diamonds are exposed to higher temperature, they become to look more like a natural. So when it's no fluorescence and they look like a, could be natural, could be CVD, we're not sure, then we need to really go to these advanced instruments, laboratories, or now become more and more portable advanced instruments available, price of $3,000 to $10,000. So it's possible to buy them even for the appraising. Then we go to check if it's type 2A. If the yes, we need to do more tests, spectroscopy to check minor defects like silicon nickel. We tell it's CVD or HPHT, or look at the growth patterns, what is diamond view, or other instruments to look at the internal structure. And then separate at the end into these two categories. This is just a summary. Of course, this requires a lot of practice, a lot of experience, and a lot of webinars like this. We think we managed to put a nice complete of 7 webinars. At least 6 of them are very, very educational for gemology. So this is a very important graph. Our colleague and famous Professor Zaitsev help us in this area too. This is how it looks. People have to understand fluorescence is not only color. It always has signature in spectroscopy. So this is a visible spectra from 400 to 700. And this is what we see when diamond is exposed to some UV light. And this is the entry, center, and cape lines. This is good indication diamond is natural. We explain more this in the bottom. When we have defects around 503, 496, we call it H3, H4 centered, color change to green, and it's most probably indication of some kind of heat and radiation involved. Sometimes could be also natural diamonds. It's very important not to always think this is black and white. It's always overlap, but it's strong indication of treatments. Same with NV centers. When you see orangey fluorescence, or even go to reddish orange or orangey red, this is usually when you check with fluorescence spectroscopy, or I'll show you later some instruments I'm using. We can see NV center and what is 575 or 637. Usually it's an indication of some treatment. Very, very rare, extremely rare we find in natural diamonds. So we now people are very visual, and we try to make it simple. This is what we publish for all colors in our book. Now I'm just putting 2 colors, colorless, what is mostly interesting for most appraisers, and pink, because they're very expensive, and now the close argument mind, and a lot of things has to be checked to make sure, especially melee. This is how it looks, natural diamond, typical natural diamond, medium blue, faint blue. Could be without fluorescence or not very weak, like this type 2A diamond. And become complicated with CVD, but with HPHT grown, usually it's straightforward. We have a little bit fluorescence or none, and then become faint or medium blue. This is a big difference here. And very important to check, turn off the light and check phosphorescence. Could be 10-30 seconds. I've seen 1 minute or more phosphorescing in the dark. This is how we check melee very quickly as a parcels or in a jewelry. CVD, again, more complicated. Why? Because some of them could be non-non all the way through. Some of them are stronger under short UV light, and this is an indication. Now this color is changing, could be, this color could be a little more orangey, more yellowish. So just be careful, the many variation of CVD fluorescence, not only this one. And pink diamonds, again, it's not always so simple, because some of them do not fluoresce, not only type 2A. We study pink diamonds from different countries with the GRS laboratory in Hong Kong, and diamonds from Russia, some sources Siberia do not fluoresce, or Canada. Some of them do fluoresce from Argyle. When they fluoresce this kind of pink orange or medium orange, they're treated, natural treated, very different than this stronger, more pure orange that are indication of treated lab-grown diamond. This is CVD on the top, and this is HPHT grown on the bottom. This is kind of how we can use fluorescence as a screening technique. Of course, when we go into detail and want to study defects, we use advanced instruments. This is a system designed specially for laboratory like GRS. I did project on this with them on pink diamonds. This is a 4-channel visible spectrometer. You cool down the liquid nitrogen and check very good spectra, visible spectra, or photoluminescence, 405 and 532 lasers. Always back up with infrared. This is one from Gemma Raman to make sure you have all information. This is how we do it in the laboratory, not only mine, other labs. So we study with them and Mikko Astrom from Finland, some NDT grown diamonds 5 years ago, and actually those who came to conference in Greece remember this 10 carat 02. We have it at the conference. We check it, all of us. And later on, we found in this stone and other stones from this producer from Russia, tiny bit of boron present in type 2A diamond. What is really indication of lab grown? This is single nitrogen visible spectra of this HPHT grown diamond. So this is something we are looking very detailed with spectroscopy. This is again a lot of boron in blue diamonds from NDT, and this is another stone from Switzerland. That I certified. You can see this is, I always put infrared spectra on my lab-grown diamond certificate because it's some indication, not final proof, that stone is synthetic. We also back up with the inclusions. In this case, it's easy. SA2 metallic inclusions, medium green, yellow phosphorescence, plus these defects of boron. This is HPHT grown diamond. This is on the left, a typical 2A big stone 324. Type 2A HPHT grown with also chalky green, yellow, and extra phosphorescence, metallic crystals. This is now happening more and more. What I see trend that there are less HPHT grown diamond in the lab that are larger, more or larger are CVD grown, and this is trend I see here. And I think Sherry also told me the same in her webinar about US. A lot of diamonds are melee, are synthetic, and most of them are HPHT grown. This is an interesting ring that I'm showing here because in this case, many people, even gemologists, would just do fast testing, don't check very quickly. Maybe it is, but very important to check long UV and short UV. You can see in the bottom picture, under long UV light, it's all these side stones do not fluoresce, and a little bit of blue or very weak. On the right, you can see under short UV, I split this image with the Geometrics application. You can see how become more green after short UV, and some of them showing distinct fluorescence. Some of them don't. That's why I have to check all this non-fluorescence with the spectroscopy. I did with EXA and proved that, in this case, I proved that you have defects of silicon the CVD melee and CVD center. This is not so often, and this is also in our book. We put this picture. So let me summarize something. What not only I show, but we show in our book. It's not possible to summarize everything, but I will summarize highlight what we see with the standard instruments. Metallic inclusions, yes, it's definitely, even if it's magnetic, SA1 and lower, it could be magnetic. Amorphous carbon or parallel clouds in a crystal indicate CVD. Dusan talked about the previous pattern. It's absent in HPHT and could be columnar, very strong, usually stronger than natural two-way, sometimes overlap. That's why we need to do other tests. Fluorescence, if it's present, short UV is stronger, then it's a strong proof. I always double check with the other instrument, not only one. And this is what you do in the laboratories, or some of you have these advanced instruments. EXA, it's not only pass, not pass, it's also seeing the spectra of the stone. UV visible spectroscopy is important. If it's present, nickel. Infrared is important. We check for type 2A or type 2B. Then we do more testing. It's indicator could be, doesn't mean it's synthetic or single nitrogen. All these steps, always one of the 2 or 3 instruments. Diamond view, some use, but it's expensive instrument. I don't have it. We used to have it in the research. Chemistry is important if you have a metallic impurities as a catalyst, but for lower clarities. And of course, photoluminescence is very important for HPHT and CVD. You look for this defect, 77, nickel, and other centers. We'll talk more about this in a following publications next year. We're planning already more books next year. So what is the future or present even? Present is that we have 7,000-8,000 presses only in China, and we covered this in a chapter, manufacturers, very good, Deljanin Lu from NGTC laboratory covered this, producer from China. We'll do more in the next book. Other producers, we cover around 20 producers who want to give us data. Not everybody was open to give us. Producers who give us data, they're very open and selling their products how they are. But some of them will, especially second hand of dealing, will maybe mispresent. So that's why it's very important to check diamonds. What's the problem? I mean, when diamonds has a half carat, 1 carat, 2 carat, of course, we'll check more with other instruments. And combination of standard and advanced can detect up to now, or I think all of them. I mentioned here these combinations. But when you have melee diamonds, you have jewelry, the 200,000 carats a month in China only produced, and they end up not on. This is natural diamonds. Came to me now more and more. These melee parcels for checking. Now I'm checking everything as a first step is a screening with the UV lamp. You can see here. This is how it looks. You can see that many diamonds do not fluoresce, but when they fluoresce is blue, sometimes yellow or orange. Very important to check this fluorescence on the short UV on the right. You can see how it's weaker here. Probably is okay. Again, this is one technique. This diamond yellow could on some instruments still be referred because it doesn't have typical blue fluorescence cape entry center. So very important to always check. Don't just rely on one instrument. This is what me and Dusan keep telling all gemologists or appraisers, and many of them make mistakes. You will see later some of the latest what happening here in this laboratory. So for those who didn't get the book, I apologize for those who are waiting 3, 4, 5 weeks. It's not up to me and Dusan. It's really US Post and Canada Post. We really cannot control it. Came to Spain after 4 weeks, still waiting in Russia after 5 weeks. It's really slow due to these extra measures, so not enough planes traveling. And this is just nice reviews from René Newman and Antoinette Metlens, who are best-selling gem authors, and they're very happy that they give us nice reviews. And at this point, I would encourage you to ask questions, and I would pass microphone back to Dusan as a moderator, and I give me a break so I can answer some questions, and Dusan can tell us also what's coming up.
Okay, Branko, it was a nice, and I have a question, and I hope that we will have a question from our guest. And let's give me now the following slide. What I have to say. This is our upcoming webinars from year 21. And of course, friend Ripka and I'm suggesting to be for you to be present. It is interesting what he's doing and what he's talking. And in January 22nd, we'll have for first time round table, and will be moderated by Albert Robinson, and the guest will be Rob Bates from JCK Magazine, Dan Scott from Labgrown Magazine, Mark Cullinan, our friend from Cullinan Diamonds. He will be in Monte Carlo, and Tanya Nisguretsky from Virtual Diamond Boutique. And right now, I would like to introduce you, Tanya Nisguretsky. She's a CEO and founder of the largest B2B lab-grown diamond marketplace. And I would like to promote this webinar in January, but also right now. Please, Tanya, tell us something about your company, and also I would be interested to know what people are searching, what primarily people are searching from your platform. Good morning and welcome, Tanya.
Hello, thank you for the intro. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Before I get into that, just quickly about who we are and what we are. So the Virtual Diamond Boutique is a B2B marketplace. We originally launched with mined diamonds and gemstones and jewelry. And in March of 2019, we introduced the lab-grown product category to our platform. It's based on an interactive user experience that allows our retailers to buy and sell the product through the platform based on imagery, and we have 20,000 registered members using it worldwide. So based on all of that usage, we've accumulated some interesting data, and Dusan and Branko thought that, you know, I can share some of that with you guys and you would find it interesting. So give me 1 second. Okay. Do you see my screen? I'm sharing,
yes,
right?
Yeah, good.
All right, awesome. Okay, great. So some analytics that are interesting. So when we launched in 2019, we originally launched with 3,800 diamonds. And a year and a half later, we're at almost 90,000 diamonds on our platform from some of the biggest producers, wholesalers, manufacturers. That goes to show that that segment is growing and growing. So based on that, we obviously have analytics in comparison from 2019 to 2020. And we thought that this would be interesting, obviously, for those that are manufacturing and those that are buying to really see a comparison of what's trending in the market. So the left side, you're going to see most popular lab-grown diamond searches in 2019. And the right side, you're going to see most popular lab-grown diamond searches in 2020. So this is active searches that are happening on our platform. What are the retailers, wholesalers, and the buyers looking for? So as we all know, round is the most popular shape in mined diamond, but it seems to hold the same for lab-grown as well. If you'll notice, obviously, people are searching for round diamonds as the most popular shape. And then, you know, far off will be oval and all the other shapes after that. But if you look to the right, I think it's interesting to note that people are searching for less rounds than they did in 2019. And ovals seem to be trending. About 50% more of people are searching for ovals. And that's actually consistent in the mined diamond category. Ovals seem to be very popular in the last many years, and obviously they happen to be popular as well on the oval, on the lab-grown sector. And then the other shapes are taking a little chunk of that category as well. Moving on, Here you'll see what are people searching for as far as carat weight. So on the left side, the most searched carat weight category in 2019 was from 1 to 149.
Next slide, Tanya. Yeah.
Do you not see the slide?
No, it still shapes.
It still shapes. I did switch
Yeah,
it.
now it's good, now it's good.
Right here? Carat weight?
Yeah.
Do you not, huh?
Now it's good, now it's good.
Okay. So people are searching for 1 to 149 in 2019. That seemed to be the, the most searched for. And then everything else came, far second, like in the 2 to 299, 50% of the people were searching for that category. But I think what's interesting to note in 2020 is that the 2 to 299 and 1.5 to 199 price carat weights, people are searching for more and more of the larger stones in the lab grown sector. You'll also notice the 3 to 399 that grew substantially over 2019. So obviously, as more people are coming into it, they're getting more comfortable with it, and they're looking for more and more bigger carat weight goods. So what I showed you was what is it people are searching for. And this next slide is a little bit different. I mixed it up a little. What are people requesting? So we have a way to analyze the requests that are going through the system to really see what are our retailers or wholesalers asking for. And
so
again,
next slide, Tanya, next slide.
it is. I am on the slide. I don't know why it's not showing.
It is, Branko.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So, so you'll notice that FGH seems to be the consistent sweet spot. Where are people looking for? They're looking for the FGH color range on 2019 and 2020. The only difference you'll notice is that in 2019 people were looking for eye color as the fourth category, but that switched up a little bit. E took the fourth place there as well. But overall, it's safe to say that there seems to be consistency in the color range that people are looking for. Of course, we have a lot more data. This is just a little bit of information we figured we'll share with you guys so you get an assessment of what it is that people are looking for in lab grown. If you need any more information, you're welcome, to check out our website and connect with us. And thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you, Tanya, to being with us, and just I would like to say that you will stay with us, and our guest attendees can send the question and you will answer, of course,
I will, sure.
Okay. Okay. Okay,
you.
Tanya. Branko, let's now go with the questions for you. And first of all, you told me I already know, but it is very interesting, and you have to present this to all our guests. It is about interesting stones. They are coming to your lab. Something very specific, Please
okay.
tell us something about this,
Okay, I will. Thank you, Dusan, because I'm lucky to have a laboratory that is still active, and I hope it will stay active. It's of course we all slowed down because of the pandemic, but we still have December was quite good. So occasionally we have interesting stones. Of course, happening every month, but I'm choosing some stones for you. This is something interesting. Why? Because it's not really a fraudulent replica what Dusan was talking about last time, but it's really a mispresentation of the reports and the stone. So basically, stone does not match original report. So this stone came with from client, a local client in Vancouver, with a GA report of fancy brownish purple pink. Weight is the same, and stone without looking with a loop or microscope even looks like he has a pink color and purple. What's the problem? I just, on purpose, I didn't want to make even inclusion picture. I just make a picture to Brian, my guy who making a report. This is how it looks stone face up and from the pavilion. You can see heavily included. We can say borderline to be gem quality, maybe I3 originally, but it's heavily fracture filled. You can see here purple and orange and pink flashes. So this is reported that I issue for them I did also color origin. In this case, I put treated. Even GS says natural. It was natural. Then I talked to the client, and they basically bought this from the online with report from GA, but not mentioning that the stone is fracture filled. So this is a big problem, because this is a stone even is a I3 originally, now maybe I2. I call it apparent clarity because maybe clarity improved I2, maybe not, but it looks just better because fracture filled. But definitely color is also influenced, because so much purple and orange flashes influence the color as well. So that's why color is not natural anymore. And I put a comment that GA grade the color prior to clarity enhancement. So make sure that these people, if they're selling with the touch report. This is, I think, interesting because it's mispresentation of the diamond. Then something happened yesterday. I don't know, I didn't plan this. You can see the date on my worksheet is really yesterday. December 17, came the client without this report, just to the stone in a little plastic bag. He said, Branko, can you please check this? I bought this online. Didn't tell you where. Okay, I checked the stone. And this is basically important for you to know, for especially you appraisers and gemologists, how I'm checking the stones. I mean, this is my worksheet. So basically, of course, I would look at the stone clarity, and this, I call it VVS2, like a few pinpoints. You cannot tell by pinpoint this is natural or lab-grown diamond. Just a little pinpoint, tiny little crystals. You cannot separate VVS1, VVS2 crystals, at least, unless you have some super powerful microscope of 1,000, if it's shaped. So I call it VVS2F. They call it VS2F. Who call it? Laboratory from New York. Later on, she sent me the report that was presented to her as natural diamond on eBay with the report from local laboratory in New York. And then, of course, I would check fluorescence. You can see here on the left, long UV. It's actually weak. You can say has a blue color or greenish blue. But definitely on the short UV, it's a little bit stronger and more green. That's why I want to pay attention to this change of colors. Very important in CVD. Not all the time like this. But usually this is due to post-treatment and due to, and this stone was phosphorescing a little bit. I didn't mention this on my report, plus phosphorescence. And this is an indication, at least people who are in the trade long time told me this is indication also of post-treatment. And of course, me, we as gemologists, we publish in a book. I look at the cross-polarized filters. I have a picture here. A pattern looks very similar, what we explain in our book, very similar to type 2A natural diamond. So pattern will not help you, but fluorescence, and what is nailing it? I have to go to advanced instrument anyway, I'm a laboratory. What is nailing it is a spectroscopy. When you compare this diamond with the database, this is EXA Magilabs instrument, photoluminescence 405 laser, very strong. This is on the bottom is one diamond in white that is Gemesis 2A CVD. Mine is blue, tiny bit, but still present. You can see here 737 silicon center, nailing it, proving it. I can go to court with this. This is a CVD diamond. So this is what's happening. Unfortunately, she bought it for $5,000. Great deal, half of the price of this, what is appraised, but it's still more than should be appraised as a lab-grown 1 carat diamond, in my opinion. So this is just something interesting. Dusan, you asked me. The last thing is that sometimes you see diamonds that are pink or gemstones. This is a pink diamond from my collection, but I see occasionally like this. This is just to show you how correlation of fluorescence. This is the orangey pink fluorescence. And at the same time, I make a picture of the screen to show you why this diamond is orangey pink fluorescence. Because of this defect, huge band from 575 to 637, this is causing this orangey pink fluorescence. And me, Dusan knows by fluorescence very often this is cannot be natural diamond, natural color. And this is telling me is natural diamond. Why? Because it has cape lines. So it was natural, and then this is added after treatment. If it's synthetic pink or red, it would be without this band here, and it would be just, I have these examples, just synthetic. And this is the one I want to show you just for those, always make sure you check fluorescence of a diamond or gemstones. This is a coral, pearl, and yellow sapphires here, fluorescence long UV and short UV. What do you notice? This yellow sapphire, bought it for $1,000, is fluorescing strong orange yellow under short UV light. A local appraiser was puzzled, gave it to me. It's cut to look like a cut from Sri Lanka, very, very simple. Basically, it's a cubic zirconia. This is something I want to show you. Don't forget that it could be a light yellow cubic zirconia as well. And this is a nailing it. It's a synthetic CZ by EXA. So this is the answer to your question, Dusan. This is what's happened last month or two.
Okay, will be more, I think, you know, and much more interesting things are on the market. And right now, Branko, try to explain to Anne Jeffrey, our guest.
Yes.
Actually, the question is, on your reports, why did you call it color origin synthetic? Isn't just origin synthetic? Why you say color origin?
Yeah. So basically, on the top of the report, unlikely other lab from New York, they just call it diamond. I always say it's natural diamond or laboratory grown diamond to make sure. Then I'm going more into details. Especially when diamond is blue or color, we always put color origin. Even in diamond is colorless. I mean, this color didn't come from producing, but I think I want to make sure that I use one time more word synthetic, just to make sure that people understand that this is not just a diamond. I want to make sure that I use laboratory grown and synthetic in the report. And just an extra assurance that I'm disclosing it. This is just me doing this extra step. Could be without, it's not a mistake, as long as you see a report on the top that is laboratory grown. And other labs, I've seen reports from IGI, GKL, and other labs using usually laboratory grown terminology or laboratory created, but usually laboratory grown. Though CIBJO, in our book, we also talk about CIBJO rules. CIBJO prefer to call it synthetic diamond in their blue book that Europeans may be more familiar, or people in other countries than North America.
Okay, and the next question will be, I don't know, because I have one question, but Antoinette, good morning, how are you? Welcome, our old friend. She has a question. How long you have to keep and you will light long or short? How long time you have to keep in order to get the best results?
Sorry, I just get up to pick up something. But basically, I use this as my loop. I'm in the dark here, usually I don't have windows. So every piece of jewelry, every diamond, I check fluorescence. So I keep it for a few seconds, long UV, and see it, and change to short UV. Always long UV first, because you can mess up fluorescence by doing short UV first. Why? Because short UV could be stronger in lab-grown diamonds if you compare it. My opinion, it's enough to use a few seconds. You don't need to do 30 minutes. There is some other things happening. I know what she's talking about when you're exposing gemstones and diamonds to the long UV light, and they could change color and things like that. This is another story. But for point of identification, I think it's enough to keep it. I don't have time to keep it 30 minutes. A few seconds, 5-10 seconds to see a reaction. Then I always, it's an interesting reaction, I always use the phone and put on the top of the instrument and make a picture like this, and save it. I have a lot of database of fluorescence on long UV and short UV. And then you can see there are differences. Sometimes our eye doesn't see very well, and this is also on computer is different. So it's good to record it and to keep it in a database. And then you can communicate with each other.
And okay, also here is one interesting question, like for me very interesting, when Huawei, our guest is asking.
You can answer this one. It's more about these lamps and lights, and you're just making instruments.
Yeah, it is a part of this fluorescence, luminescence, photoluminescence, what we are talking, and the question is actually very interesting. And our guest is asking, is it possible by using the deuterium lamp when is a filter? It means when is acting as a laser on the 214 nanometer. Is it possible, this power that will be produced, is it possible to induce luminescence? It will be very nice that it is possible. You know, I don't think it is not possible. It is not enough power on the deuterium lamp that when it's filtered, that could be induce any luminescence. But it could give us a lot of new information. Tiny peaks, they are in area from 200 nanometers, 240 nanometers to 300 nanometers. And right now, Branko, for you, right now will be interesting to know your system. How you are doing this in your lab, steps and also instrument. Can you tell us step 1, 2, 3, and what else you are using in your in your lab?
Yes, I'll show you. I wish I had $1 million. I'll buy more instrument, but I'll show you what I have and what is on the market. And basically, I'll show you just what I have, but this is a part of an ongoing project. I started in spring. Those who attended the spring webinar, but also it was part of my talk in a conference in Greece that didn't happen this year, but will happen next year. And now it's good that I'm adding more because it will be more instruments. Originally, it was this top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Out of this, I don't carry. I don't have a GA ID 100. I don't have a diatrue. I just borrow from the client. On the bottom, just also borrowed this one this week. Actually, last week, a local appraiser took my workshop and gave me this one for 1-2 days. Vista Gemologis, and this one I received from Presidium Ari and Inspectum from Geometry. This is a new instrument. I'm still evaluating. I didn't do final evaluation, but this is what I'm using. All these other instruments, and I will cover a little bit of diamond kit and the jewelry inspector and EXA today because I cannot cover everything. Some of them are covered by a sure program, but I added more instruments that are not covered. It's more interesting. Why? Doing this workshop, people keep asking me, what about this instrument? What about that? What do you think, Branko? And they ask me to give opinion on everything. I am, like you, Dusan, an expert, but we didn't test all instruments, and we have our own instrument. So what I decided to do, I decided to take my collection. It has 55 diamonds and 7 imitations, and this is the list of them. 17 natural, 18 HPHT grown, 16 CVD, some of them color, some of them corallite, some of them CZ, some ozonate, and check this with all different instruments. This is what is a part of hopefully upcoming book by spring or summer next year on diamonds as a technical book. You'll see later who is else there. So this is the one that I'm using all the time, and this is really gemological instruments. Nothing to do with the black boxes, nothing to do with the pass, no pass. It's you and your loop and your cross-polarized filters, basic gemology, your UV lamp that you basically have to compare this. And this is very important. I keep talking about this. This is fluorescence, very typical. This is typical for HPHT grown, short UV stronger. Not so typical all the time, but if you see this for CVD, it is an indication of synthetic. On the bottom here, 2 diamonds, and this is more or less CVD. Sometimes could be tricky, but this is, you can see, stronger pattern than more settled 2A and absent in HPHT grown. Of course, we have 4 pages of these patterns in our book, or 5, Dusan, I forgot. We did really a lot of extra pictures in our book. But then I will go to fluorescence. If it's a loose diamond, I'll put it in a little PL inspector. If it's mounted, I'll put in jewelry inspector. This is what I'm using because it's portable and it's black box. And you can use it the shows because you basically make a picture through the top. And this is definitely a treated diamond, pink, in this case, synthetic. This is HPHT grown ring, and this is I was showing you this ring before, CVD melee and CVD center. And all these instruments now have a special 10% off. So this is just a summary. I won't talk into details now, but this is what I'll do in the book, more evaluation of each instrument, what can do, what cannot do. This is definitely a problem if it's a closed back. We cannot do cross-polarized filters, but we can check imitations. We can check other instruments cannot with this combination of kit and UV lamp. To summarize, it's good screening technique. Is not 100%. I think it's around 90% if you experience and use a lot. You have to be a lot of practice. And you can save the images and you can create a database. This is advantage. This is the one that just came last month, and I already put it on the website. Just evaluating now. So far, it looks very good. It's not, of course, it's only 3,900 with the shipping. It's not like so detailed as 10,000 or 20,000 instrument, but you can see 737 NV center in CVD diamond. You can see defects if it's treated 67 NV center. It's used for gemstones and diamonds. This is by Geometrics. It's a very light. This is the big advantage. 0.5 kilograms. This is very important. And this is the one that I really use more and more, and with more synthetics coming. Why? Because it's not only pass, not pass. We don't like this. If it's just pass, not pass, I would never buy it. There's instruments from other labs, and they're using pass, refer, pass, refer. It's not for me. It's good for some people who are lazy, who are for the jewelers, for the retailers to do fast. But we need a second screen to see the spectra. This is what we are doing here. So this is the ring. This is a loose diamond. This is a blue fluorescence. This is a ring, blue fluorescence, corresponding to the spectra of Cape. We call it Cape lines, entry center, and other 452, 478. We call it, all this telling me this is natural diamond, natural color. This one doesn't fluoresce so much, but you can see there's a fluorescence, even in the 405. And you see a little peak here. This is a strong indication. This is synthetic diamond. This is a nickel line close to 900. So we basically nail it with the spectra. And this is a CVD. Me and George Pirmelos really spent time, and I'm sure Dusan has his collection, to mount these rings to make half natural, half CVD, to teach you how to detect mounted stones. And this is one way is fluorescence, another way is spectroscopy, 737. Again, just to summarize, it's effective, it's fast, can do melee, but it do one at a time. It's basically fiber optic light, and it could be used for GEMS AD, and it's not 100%. It's not part of DPA testing, but I think maybe 97, 98%. Still referring some stones with strange fluorescence, could be natural. So it's still not using only one test. This is good for small CZs also. We can tell you it's CZ. This is basically, Dusan, what I would do in a laboratory. Instruments, of course, much more will be covered next year in another book. It's too much to cover in a webinar.
Yeah, and
I think we have more questions from the people. I want to answer their questions as well. Yeah.
And from New Zealand, we have a Gina, and she's asking, what any other gemstones from your experience can emit blue fluorescence under UV light?
That's a very good question. So we produced these two booklets on green gemstones and pink. It's me and John Chapman, not Dusan, but Dusan is really diamond specialist and he focuses on diamonds. I have to teach other gemstones as well. So blue fluorescence, it's not common in all gemstones, but all depends what you think is blue. If you have an emerald with a lot of cement or a lot of filling, it can be blue. You can see here in the picture, it's a blue fluorescence in emerald because the filler is blue. Same about jade. When jade is polymer treated, and I explained this in this booklet on fluorescence, this polymer, but basically extra type of plastic that to fill up the cracks will fluoresce blue. This is what, so many things could fluoresce blue, but you have to know in what relation and what, you can see here on the page, how blue fluorescence in a cabochon, it's strong indication it's a B jade. It's polymer treated. So fluorescence is very important, but every gemstone has different meaning, of course. Some gemstones do not fluoresce, and you have to do other techniques. You can see here how palma oil or gematite oil also fluoresce blue. So there's many things that fluoresce blue, Gina, but you have to really study it. And I can tell you just, it's not, it doesn't mean that if it's blue, it's a diamond, of course. You need to first do your gem ID and then go into fluorescence. It's a little bit different for gemstones than diamonds. I would also always check refractive index if it's possible, of course, and then go to fluorescence. And look at the inclusions are more important in gemstones than in diamonds for ID separation because they tell you a lot. But fluorescence is definitely a good screening technique.
Yeah, and the next question will be from our friend Lehman from the New York, and he's talking about fraudulent the labs and also replica, and actually he's approving. He says yes, there are a bunch of the fraudulent labs who cater to the seller. You know, of course, you know, we know this, and right now, Branko, it is we explained this last time, but you can say again about what it means to make a fraudulent replica exactly. You know?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, gemology is not a science 100%. You know, it's applied and we have opinion, but should be talking about now clarity grading should be within 1 grade. Then of course, gemetification is also its opinion, especially when it comes to origin. But we need to really agree within very narrow margin of mistakes. So it's a problem when we have labs who put SA1 on I1 diamond or put diamond when diamond is CVD grown. I'll show example today. I mean, this is a misleading, definitely the final consumer and buyer. And I mean, it was a lot of especially 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when we started on this, remember, reason why we write the books on lab-grown diamonds, why you're talking about this, why? Me and Dusan didn't start to promote lab-grown. We started to disclose it, what is in the market. And we find out that the people who are making these diamonds usually are good people, and definitely those who are working with us. Of course, the people who are cheating, there are the labs who are also cheating. Some of them by not knowing what they're doing. I mean, if you go to the website of some labs, it's really funny. They don't have a microscope, you know. They're showing the loops, how they're doing identification. That is not possible anymore. Your microscope is not enough. So one is not having a knowledge. It's one thing. To make a mistake, I didn't mention that diamond that came to me yesterday went to the local appraiser. I don't know the name. She will tell me, but I won't disclose it. It's not fair. She made the appraisal report as natural because she didn't do her job of testing properly diamond. Because came with a report that is natural, and she trusts this report so much. So we cannot trust the report so much, and especially Dusan talk about this. Even if you have GA report, I show you today one diamond, doesn't assume you can put this fancy pink diamond that is natural color and natural, not enhanced. You have to check, do your job. Same with this diamond bought online from the laboratory from New York that is existing. I double check it. This lab exists, doing business, but on purpose or by mistake made this wrong identification, I don't know. And based on that, you have a private person who bought, spent $5,000. It's not good. This is fraudulent labs. But people are making also diamonds to look like a GIA 2 carat VVS2 E color by measurements, and not difficult to make by clarity and color, very close, and presenting with the fake GA reports as well. This is what's happening on other labs. So the more we talk about this, people have been not more scared to buy diamond, but be more careful of what they're buying. And we need to do our job as a gemologist to check things, not only to trust other reports. This is my message and Dusan, I think.
And I would like to add something. How I first time find out that something like this, like a fraudulent replica, is going. It was right now 10 years ago with the HPHT grown diamonds, when I used to check all these stones because of equipment, Rennie show and this stuff.
You mean HPHT?
HPHT treated. Yeah.
Yeah, intense.
And then people start to ask for 5 carat round, 5-6 carat round HPHT treated enhanced stones, and it was so strange for me. Why right now only round and HPHT treated 5 to 6 carat? Actually, the fraudulent replica started at the time, you know, and they find out the way to sell HPHT treated as a natural, and responsibility in this case will be really on GIA. GIA used to do these reports only. And additional problem at the time was like a post-treated HPHT treated diamonds. In this case, really, it is a problem cannot be solved. Who made mistake? GIA or it is a fraudulent replica. It was also option that GIA was not able, what we know already, they were not able all the time to identify these post-treated HPHT stones. Yeah, this is just one of the aspects, you know, and
we have one question in this direction from Huawei, I don't know his name. Hello, suggest to understand if an 2A natural diamond was in brown color change. A little bit difficult to understand the question, but I think he meant, yes, type 2A diamond could be brownish, light brown, could be colorless. If they're brown, they could be improved to colorless. And me and Dusan did it a lot, experiments and published research and not published in 2000, 2005. So then you need a really advanced spectroscopy, photoluminescence. Fluorescence is just a little indication. We noticed, this is just experience. We want to publish many things, but we are blocked sometimes to publish. So we noticed that after HPHT treatment, do you remember, we send stone without fluorescence none, and come back with a weak or weak to medium blue fluorescence, yeah? Remember?
Yeah.
And this is creation of small, tiny entry center or that fluoresce blue. So we cannot use it as a final proof, but if you check on the cross-porous filters type is 2A, and you have weak to medium blue fluorescence, something is wrong, should be checked further. And of course, we can check with photoluminescence spectroscopy to find evidence. This is how we do this first, second, third step in testing.
And so do we? I don't see more. But Branko, tell us what is a plan for 2021 regarding your education and also the next book.
Okay, thank you, Dusan. So last 10 years, I did 2 to 3 international trips and workshops around the world. You can see from Hong Kong to Brazil and Thailand, 17 countries. So today we kind of touch on static diamonds, but we also do treated diamonds, ruby, sapphire, emerald, jade. And this is the one that I really want to do next year, scientific gemology. Hopefully, Dusan will be part of it with some other guests who are preparing our new book. So big news is that we rebooked Mediterranean Gem and Jewelry Conference in Greece. It will be second weekend of July. Same hotel, same beautiful 5-star hotel, same nice Thessaloniki, Norfolk, Greece, second largest city. We will hopefully go from Serbia, where we're both coming from, to make nice gem trip to the mines in Kosovo. There is a sphalerite and all kind of mineral museum. My father used to work there, so it's a nice collection. Then go to the visit ruby mine. It's not transparent, it's translucent, it's nice ruby, only ruby mine what I know, or purple sapphire in Europe. And then go to the Holy Mount Athos and different places in Greece that Greece is a great place to visit. And of course, stay for vacation. And these are people who are really helping us in the past with the research like GRS, AOTC, Dusan, of course, all the time, 10 years, 15 years, Elena, workshop, people with core diamonds, Geometrics, Nesha, Tom Chatham. But these are people who are really sponsoring our conferences. And this is for next conference, we already have sponsors. Hopefully they will come back, not leave us. I think no reason to, and some of them already indicate they will come back, and already have maybe one new sponsor. So we will do this. So what is upcoming? This is something I'm very excited about. We started this book with Dusan in March, April. It took us 6 months. Parallel with this, I was working, and Dusan was also reviewing occasionally these articles for a new book that were called Diamonds, Natural, Treated, and Laboratory Grown. So basically, if this is an intermediate level, and we want to make it readable intermediate for most of the gemologists and jewelers who have it, we want to make one that is to really understand technical part. That's why I invited, and Dusan knows all these people, they're our friends. Dr. Alan Collins, doctor from England, he used to be De Beers consultant, and from King's College, Alexander Zaitsev from University of New York, John Sheffman, working 30 years in Rio Tinto, now doing a lot of instruments. Taijin Lu, head researcher of NGTC laboratory in China, Beijing. Of course, Thomas Henschwag from GGTA laboratory in Liechtenstein, Switzerland. And Victor Wings, researcher on colored diamond treatments. Each of them will write 15 to 20 pages article already done. We're just reviewing it as we speak. And I will do this, I think it's important for people to know, to compare portable instruments on the market and to do case study, like each stone with different instruments. And that way you can really see, decide by yourself, what is the instrument for you works the best, what price range, and what you can get out of this. And I hope each of them will be a guest at the February, March, and April webinars. This is my plan for next upcoming education. And this one already Dusan explained, but this is very exciting to have a more trade-oriented, retail-oriented, more, I'm not saying, we want to attract trade as well, a retailer, not only gemologists. So we invite Rob Bates from Jessica Magazine and Don Scott from New LabGrown Magazine. They'll both review our book. Mark Cullinan come to our conferences for Cullinan Diamonds. He'll be in South Africa. He lives in Monte Carlo and Monaco, but he's now in South Africa. And Tanya Nisguretsky will come back and tell us more about Virtual Diamond Boutique and what they're doing, and prepare more information for you. This is what is coming up regarding education. It's we have to be online now more and more. I hope it will be more practical after spring, and I can resume our traveling. And this is basically what Dusan, we prepare for the Christmas and holiday little, if you want to still get the book, this is what we are offering as an educational and also a nice gift.
Okay, right now we are more than 1 hour online, and we would like to say thank you for all of you that join us, and we hope we'll stay, we'll visit our next webinars, and okay, we are trying to be interesting, informative, and we hope that we did it well. Thank you very much.
Thank you
and
very much.
Yeah, see you next time.
Thank you for very nice comments on chat that you're mentioning that we are pro-educational and you like our webinars. We try to educate. This is our role. Books or webinars, this is what we can do now in this time. Hopefully we see each other next conferences, or Las Vegas, maybe it will be. Unfortunately, Tucson is cancelled. And we will have these, those who missed it or those who didn't want to share with your friends, all these on our YouTube channel will be in a few days already there. It's now automatically, but you have to edit a little bit, and hopefully see you in January at the next webinars.
And happy all holidays.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. You celebrate another holidays whenever you are, and enjoy, relax, and get more energy for next year. It should be a better year. Bye-bye.
Bye.